Friends, I am Fatih Sultan Mehmed. I am the 7th Sultan of the Ottoman Empire. I am known by my nickname Grand Turco in the West. When I conquered Istanbul, I went down in the history as the Sultan who opened and closed periods. Would you like to know me better? I was born in 1432 in Edirne. My father is Sultan Murat Han II and my mother is Alime Huma Hatun. My dear father made me take lessons from valuable teachers. My first teacher, Molla Gurani, taught me to be disciplined as well as science, to set big goals and work hard to reach them. My teacher was also a great swordsman. The games we played with my little sword turned into mutual lessons as I grew older. My other teacher was Akşemseddin, one of the greatest scholars of the time, who discovered the microbe 500 years ago. He observed me according to my abilities and trained me in a special way. Dear Father paid great attention to my education and the development of my managerial aspects. I was also a smart, active, questioning and researching child. I was going to be one of the youngest emperors in the world when I grew up. I learned Arabic, Persian, Greek, Italian, Latin and Slavic. Among the courses I took, I liked geography, history, mathematics, astronomy, philosophy and literature the most. I wrote divan poems under the pen name Avni. My poems were so loved that history continues to remember me among the great poets. When I was only 12 years old, I was appointed as the governor of Amasya. This task was given to me to gain experience in management. I had my teachers with me. Thanks to them, I had the opportunity to meet many teachers and scholars from other nations living outside our state. I was the sole crown prince to the Ottoman throne. My father announced in front of the soldiers and pashas that he left the throne to me, and that he would go to Manisa to rest. I became the Ottoman Sultan at a young age. Hearing this, the European Christian states organized a crusade to our land. Their aim was to take advantage of my inexperience and harm our state. I had to call my father immediately for help in Manisa. I wrote a letter to my father who responded negatively to the messengers I sent, with the guidance of Grand Vizier Chandralı Halil Pasha. If you are the Sultan, take command of your army. If I am the Sultan, obey my order and come and lead the army. My father, who read my letter, took the throne and won the Varna victory against the Crusaders who declared war on us. After this victory, my father, who remained on the throne for a while, sent me back to my duty in Manisa. I was continuing my education and fulfilling my duty as the governor in Manisa. My teacher Akşemseddin was always with me during this process. Akşemseddin was preparing me for the conquest of Istanbul, which was the dream of my great-grandfather Yıldırım Beyazıt and my father. The fact that having this beautiful person who strengthened me, not only intellectually, but also spiritually with me, always gave me confidence. I have never forgotten the advice my teacher Akşemseddin gave me. I would like to talk to you about these tips. Start every job with Besmele. Be clean. Always routinize kindness. Be hardworking. Be grateful for blessing. Be patient with trouble. Conquering Istanbul was my biggest dream. I tried my best to achieve my dream. I should have taken the Bosphorus under control. I had the Rumeli fortress built to the opposite side of Anatolian fortress, built by my grandfather Yıldırım Beyazıt. I completed this huge fortress, which I personally participated in the construction, in 4 months and 10 days. In this way, the control of the Bosphorus would be in our hands, and this fortress would strengthen our strength. Every move of my enemy was very important to me. I sent spies to the Roman Empire, which owned Istanbul, and learned the city by inch from street to street. I had cannons cast to climb over the walls surrounding Istanbul. My teachers taught me the most important techniques of war, as well as riding a horse, wielding a sword, and casting cannon. I prepared a mixture of olive oil to cool the rapidly heating mortars. It really worked. We would thus facilitate our victory by throwing the cannons without interruption. I offered the Roman Emperor to surrender the city without bloodshed, so that no one would be harmed. The Emperor did not accept my offer. He surrounded the sea route in the Golden Horn with chains and blocked our ships. The siege, which lasted for 53 days, tired me and my soldiers, but could not discourage me. I lowered the ships to the Golden Horn by sliding them on oiled sleds. I conquered Istanbul on May 29, 1453. Our unending perseverance had finally brought victory. Istanbul was ours now. When we entered the city, I announced to all the people of Istanbul with a ferman that they should not be afraid, and then they could continue their lives as they had before. I promised that the people of my country would not face any pressure or coercion. I opened a new era with the conquest of Istanbul. Being 21 years old did not prevent me from reaching my goal. I would build a city in peace with my justice and my respect for my people. I was going to declare this blessed town, which I named Istanbul, as the capital of my state. All my life, in every decision I made, in every job I did, my only concern was to gain Allah's approval. I had no other purpose. I have never forgotten my father's advice. Oh, my son, no matter what anyone says, I believe that those who live their lives in righteousness will attain the unimaginable endless blessing of eternity when they leave this world. They should well know that the continuation of anything is not possible by force of brute force, sword, heroism, and crushing force. Reason, caution, patience, foresight, testing, and tiring experiences are very important. The first way is not always valid, and the harms are many. The second way alone won't work either. For great success, it's necessary to carry out both together. Do not forget that the victories of our great ancestors, although seemingly under the shadow of sword, were actually realized by the power of reason, logic, and love. I had conquered Istanbul, formerly Constantine, and had the largest empire in the world. My aim was not to destroy Eastern Rome, but to resurrect it with the light of science. I built madrasas and schools to bring science, knowledge, and prosperity to the city, and waterways to meet the city's water needs. I had decrees written to build palaces, mosques, inns, baths, and fountains in the city. I doubled the territory of my country in the east and west. I brought justice and order wherever I went. I had tried to do good and right things all my life. During my 30 years rule, I turned the Ottoman Empire into a great empire.